Hello, lovely humans, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name's Heather. I am a baker turned physical therapy student, a cat enthusiast. Sir. A cat enthusiast and a woman on an adventure to get healthy and lose 100 pounds. And on this channel, we talk about everything health and happiness. Now, most of you guys are aware, because you clicked on this video, that we are right in the middle of what I call fluffy season. First there's Halloween, then Thanksgiving, Christmas, and followed shortly by Valentine's Day. Also known as the candy. The candy is on the shelves. And it is super hard, if you're anything like me, to not throw every single bit of it in your cart. And that's what we're gonna talk about today. How to avoid going hog wild with the bajillion different snacky, delicious, sugary sweet items that you see in the store. Given that it is very close to spooky season, if you guys want to hang out until the end, I will also give you 10 ideas for super easy costumes if you're feeling a little bit lazy. On to tip number 1 for how the heck to not go bananas. Now, at some point, you have probably heard that it's a bad idea to go shopping when you're hungry. And to that I say, duh. If we're hungry, we are definitely gonna have a lot more difficulty saying no. But what you might not have thought about is how it affects you when you're tired. The hungry one's kind of obvious. If you're hungry, you're gonna want something that is fast and easy to fill your belly with, and let's face it, most of those things are gonna be snacky and not so great for you. If you're tired, your impulse control is way less. And there's actually studies to back this up. When people are sleep deprived, they are actually more likely to eat the things, and too much of them, that are not so good for them. They're more likely to pick the high carb, high starch foods, which individually are not bad, but if you're going on, say, a carb, and by carb I mean Kit Kat binge, it's not gonna end well. Oh look, there's another one. Hi dear. They're very nosy today. There you go. Whoop. One thing you might not be aware of is that when you are sleep deprived, the hormones in your body are actually different. There's 2 in particular. There's ghrelin, also known as your hunger hormone, and leptin, which is basically the hormone that lets you know, hey, I am satiated. Let's learn how to sound that out. I am satiated, I am full, I don't need to have more. Whenever you are sleep deprived, you actually have more of the ghrelin hormone and less of the leptin. So it affects what you are most likely to do, AKA being hungry and wanting a whole lot more of it, as well as what types of foods you're buying because you're tired. So if you are hungry, have a snack, a healthy one, before you go to the store, and take a nap if you are tired, because it's not gonna do you any good if you are groggily putting the entire store in your cart. Tip number 2. It's easy peasy on this one. If there's a thing out there that's tempting you, if you have a way to avoid it, do so. So for most of us, that aisle of Halloween candy or Valentine's candy, depending on what holiday it is, it's usually clustered all together. If you go to Walmart, it's pretty much gonna be the one labeled seasonal candy, and it's a very eye-catching sign, you can't miss it. Rather than going down that aisle and just hoping that you're gonna have enough willpower to get past it, take it out of the equation entirely and just skip that aisle. Yeah, you might be thinking about it, but it's a lot less tempting if your eyeballs are not feasting on the multitude of dessert options in front of you. There is cat hair in my eye, oh my God. Tip number 3. Okay, so for tip number 3, if you find that you just cannot resist that aisle, like it's affecting your ability to get the rest of your groceries because that's all you can think about, then go about it a different route. We're gonna go down that aisle and throw whatever you want into that cart. Now, before you're like,
wow, this chick has lost her mind,
calm down. What you do when you are at the end of your shopping trip, because you've already satisfied that impulse, the need for, oh my God, I need all of this candy and all of this junk food, because it's already in your cart. So you're no longer being eaten alive by that impulse. So you're at the end of your shopping trip and you're like, okay, I'm feeling kind of satisfied, not in the sense of being proud of myself, but in the sense of I got what I wanted. Now that that impulse is taken care of, It's basically your turn to trick your brain, go back through the store, and put up all of the junk food items that you threw in your cart. It's gonna be a lot easier to give them up this time because that initial impulse has already been satisfied. So chances are, if you filled your cart with a bunch of impulsive items, none of those items are things that you really, really wanted to have. It's just things that happen instantaneously when that impulse strikes. So when you've already satisfied your impulse of putting it in your cart, your brain's like, oh, we got it, I'm fine now. Then you turn around and you're like, I'm gonna put everything back up. Not only are you gonna get some extra steps in your day by walking around the store to put it back, but since that impulse is already satisfied, you're not gonna feel like you just completely missed out on something that would have been amazing. Number 4, watch your timing. So rather than shopping the day after whatever the holiday is, because let's face it, anything after Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Valentine's, that is like the sweet spot, pun intended, for deals because everything for the most part is gonna be 50% off, and that includes any and all snacky items. So rather than being tempted while you're in the store and knowing, ooh, I can get a bargain and get some sugar, plan your meals ahead for the week. Don't shop the day after whatever that holiday is. In our case right now, Halloween. Do I need to be there like right after October 31st? No, I do not. I have done that before and bought like 7 pounds of candy, and let's just say it didn't end well for my waistline or anything else at all. Don't do it. Plan ahead, then go to the store, and not the day after. Number 5. This one can be a little bit more expensive in the short term, but in the long run can actually end up saving you some money as well as a good chunk of your health, hopefully. What you do is take the time, if you have the opportunity to do so, and the money, and invest in something like doing Walmart Plus, or Amazon delivery, or curbside pickup. If you stick with just getting your stuff delivered to you or picking up curbside, you are significantly cutting down the odds of you buying something you don't need. Because generally speaking, because we're very visual creatures, just seeing something in a shopping cart online is not gonna be as tempting as seeing something in the aisle in front of you calling your name. Like, buy me. Buy me, you must have me. You don't really need it. And if you take the time to put in your order online, you have to actually think about what you're buying, so you're more likely to do a better job of meal prepping and planning, and you're less likely to get some junk food. Now, for those of you who think that buying things online and having it shipped or doing curbside is a waste of money because it does cost extra. Dollar bills, y'all. I completely understand, and that's the way I used to think. But I kind of changed my mindset when I started looking at how much I was spending monthly on junk food. Like for me, pizza and pastries, those are my go-to, those are my struggles. And if I'm picking something online, I'm gonna be thinking about what I actually meal prepped as opposed to something that's just calling my name in the store. So although it's more to pay for the online deliveries or curbside, in the long run, you're actually saving a lot more money if you manage to resist all those impulsive buys that you would normally get at the store. Number 6, bring someone with you. If you have the opportunity to do so, bring your friends, your spouse, or your kids with you to the store.
Get in, loser, we're going shopping.
Make sure that you guys talk about it beforehand. Like, hey, I'm struggling really bad to not buy junk food or to buy something that's unhealthy for me. Can you hold me accountable when we're in the store and say, no, we're not gonna get that. Like, you don't need it. It's okay, let's put it back and let's move on. It does help to have someone with you because it kind of makes you think back to your logical side as opposed to your impulsive side. Because I know for a lot of us, we're very prone, especially those of us who are sugar addicts like myself, we're prone to buy the junky thing and then eat it like in shame in our car. And when someone's there and visibly seeing all the garbage you're putting in your cart, not that I want to play shame to like make it easier, but it's kind of one of those if it works sort of things. Having another person there who knows what your goals are and wants to be supportive of you can make a huge difference in not making bad purchasing decisions. For those of you with children who are like,
you do realize that children want sugar too, right, lady?
Like, I'm not insane, I promise. If you're a mom and you're taking your kids to the store, there's a fun way to do this to get your kids involved. It sounds a little cheesy, but get yourself a spray bottle. It's the same concept how kids, like if they ever have the opportunity to dunk like their teachers or their parents in a dunk tank, they'll take it and it's all exciting to them. This is the same concept. If you give your kids a squirt bottle and tell them, all right, here's the deal, guys. If mom puts any sort of cake, cookies, or candy in her cart, we're not supposed to take that home. If I put any of that in the cart when we've already agreed we're not going to, you guys get to spray me with a spray bottle. It's the same concept. They're gonna be pretty excited about maybe getting to douse mom with a spray bottle, or you can give them a squirt gun and make it even more fun. And it's gonna kind of keep you in check because you're not getting doused in the middle of the supermarket. It's silly, but it helps. Now for the last 4 tips, these are gonna be in an instance where you have to buy something. Or like if it's Halloween, you're like, okay, I wanna have candy there for the trick-or-treaters. For some people, it's easier to just say, no, we're not doing that entirely, but I also understand that that doesn't fit with everyone's lifestyle. Number 7, buy it the day of. If it is the day of Halloween, yes, Walmart is going to be an absolute madhouse. And so I am realistic in saying I know that that's gonna suck. Let's be realistic. If you know that you're gonna have trick-or-treaters and you absolutely wanna have candy for them, do you really think that if you buy that candy 1 week in advance, there's gonna be any of it left for the trick-or-treaters? Not if you're in this house. If you have willpower, that's great. More power to you, but that's probably not those of us who would watch this video because we'd be struggling. So buy it the day of. Don't give yourself any time to go hog wild and eat it throughout the week. Number 8. Let's say you end up with some leftovers at your house. Like Halloween has come and gone, but they didn't get every last bit of candy. Throw it in the freezer instead, especially if it's candy. In most cases, if it's rock hard and you're gonna break your teeth, that's some pretty good deterrent to not go wild. If you wanna have it in moderation afterwards, you can go and say, okay, I'm gonna pull like 3 of these little mini fun-size Reese's out of the freezer, leave them on the counter to thaw. I'm gonna go to work, and when I come home, I will enjoy them then. You get your little snack, you can be satisfied with that, and if you're tempted to get more, you know that you're gonna break your teeth on the other ones in the freezer and that it's just not worth it. Number 9, put it away for later. So let's say you work in an office setting, and if it's anything like mine, you know that everybody and their mother starts bringing in sugary treats for the holidays or leftover candy that their kids had, because that's what we all do, is we try to pawn it off on everybody else so we don't eat it. But if you're in a situation where that's there, it's the same thing as when you throw everything in the shopping cart and then take it out at the end. In this case, if you get the sugar, don't eat it then and there. Be like, yeah, sure, I'll take whatever it is. Like if you know that you're not gonna be able to just say no like the whole day, because for me, if it's sitting there for 8 hours, that's all I can think about for 8 hours, and which is unhealthy and the reason I'm in therapy for my food issues. But an easy way, or easier way to do it, is to say, yes, I will have 1 normal size portion, and then, but be like, but I'm gonna actually eat it later and put it away in the fridge or away wherever else. At that point, it is out of sight, out of mind, but you've already satisfied the impulse because you know that it is yours. So once that impulsive brain is chillaxing, you can get through the rest of your workday and you can let the logical part of your brain take over and be like, okay, is this something I need? Can I give it away to someone else? Can I actually eat this in moderation in a reasonable amount? Because we be struggling sometimes. Or do I need to maybe just leave this behind for someone else? And number 10, my last tip is if you have extra candy after that holiday, pawn it off on your coworkers. Instead of just being the coworker that's struggling to say no when everyone else brings it to the office, you can be the one that is giving it to the other people. But you can take it to work, you can pawn it off on your friends, you can give it to different family members, but get it out of your house so that you are not tempted every single day. And if it's at work and you bring it to work, that means that you keep it out of sight, out of mind. So if you bring that candy in, you keep it in y'all's break room. Don't go in your break room to have your lunch. Go somewhere else, because if you're in the break room sitting next to that bowl of candy, you might as well have left it in your kitchen because you're gonna be eating it all day long. And tip number 11 for how to stay happy and healthy during the candy seasons is to make sure you subscribe down below so you can keep getting more tips and tricks and seeing what I do to stay happy and healthy. And now for the super fun part, a costume fashion show. Costume idea number 1. Get yourself a bag of sugar or diet sugar, because all I had was stevia. Borrow a baby holder, or in this case a cat holder, from one of your friends or a stroller, and suddenly you are a sugar mama. Cat lady! All right, next costume. All you need is a robe and a willing or just slow to run away cat to put in a cat carrier. And every cat accessory that you have. Headband, pin, we've got it all. Now, if you don't have a willing and participating cat, which let's be honest, most of us don't, I got lucky with this one. He is very much going to be bribed with all sorts of treats. If you don't have one, you can get a ton of little stuffed animals that are cats, of course, and pin them all over your robe, make your hair all crazy, and boom, you've got it. Next up, whoosh, next up, you're at a party and someone asks you, well, what the heck are you? You look them dead in the eye and you go, I'm a leaf blower. This one's easy. There's a rumbly in my tumbly. And nude pantaloon. Wait, hold on. Nude pantaloons. Because I'm a naked Pooh Bear, apparently. Make sure you do up your hair in some crazy buns, aka ears, and bring some honey. Wanna know who the heck I am? This is your easiest costume yet. You walk into a party, like your name is El Nino, just kidding. Okay, walk into the party wearing a plaid shirt. That's all you need for this costume. Preferably blue and white, but I don't own one. When someone asks you, what the crap are you? You simply turn around and go, ooh. Easiest idea ever. I'm just gonna take a bow for that one, actually. Who am I? Oh my god, goosebumps! Was that terrifying enough? The king has entered the building. Now let's be honest, I am putting these together in all of 30 seconds. I had to tease the crap out of my hair just to get this. So know this, if you decide to go as the king himself, Elvis Presley, spend more than 30 seconds on your hair and you'll be just fine. All you need, preferably in white, but is a hot collar shirt, something that is not the scarf you wore to Winter Ball 800,000 years ago in high school. Maybe something sequiny, silky, but what you really need is to know how to wiggle that lip, which clearly I do not. But thank you very much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. The king has left the building! What? Wondering what in the crap I am? Because I'm doing 30-second costume changes. We're going to pretend that this scalp scratcher is a headband with horns, which you can make at home fairly easily, but I'm spending 30 seconds. Hook on some china, make sure it is very secure so you don't break your grandmother's china. Add a little septum piercing for some realism. And excuse me, did you just become a bull in a china shop? I liked it. You know what we have here? Probably not, because I did not nail the hair, but Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. What the heck do you need for this costume? Bright pants or striped pants, a white shirt, and preferably something floral, but as I am not a 95-year-old grandma, I do not have that in my closet. Bold and stripy will work just fine. The key to this costume. Insane hair, which I gotta say, given the fact that I made this in about 30 seconds, not bad. Alrighty then, next costume. Obviously, I'm no Jim Carrey. I'm on it. I got it. I can do anything. What am I missing? Oh. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Kim Possible at your service. Bonus points if you actually have a red wig you want to use for this. But if you're a lady, you can just put your hair down, get you some green pantaloons, a black shirt, and gloves, and you are all about saving the world. Oh my god. However, this Kim Possible is exhausted because she has had 10 costume changes in like 15 minutes. So, if you appreciate the effort, like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I will see you lovely humans in the next one. Bye bye. Whoops.